Antoni, thank you for doing this.
Thank you for doing this too.
These conversations mean a lot to me because it's all part of a family, which is what I think the theatre is in Canada. And all the branches of the family, and Antoni's branch of the family, and what he creates at Stratford. And we're linked right across the country. So actually to get an opportunity to sit down with part of the family who I don't see enough of, because we're all in different worlds. It's pleasurable to me, not only as a theatre artist, but also as a person.
Well,
so thank you.
Thank you. You've got a lot to answer for because you gave me my first professional job. So, you know what I mean? You got some splaining to do.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, no.
Have you regretted it?
I think, I hope the rest of Canada hasn't, but I'll lay that at your feet.
I don't think the rest of Canada's regretted it at all. And I believe you played Francis Flute.
I did.
And played it very well.
Oh, thank you, RH.
Did you drive the Vespa?
No, I didn't.
Who drove it?
I would be much too scared to drive the Vespa. Who drove it? It wasn't me. But I did light the set on fire on opening night.
For the record, this is Midsummer Night's Dream in the Park in whatever it was, sometime in the 1980s.
You had us entering in the curtain call with candles, which is beautiful, through this mossy kind of thing. Sure enough, opening night, as I was coming up for the curtain call, managed to set the set on fire. And the next thing I knew, I was getting hosed down by, remember our stage manager was a former firefighter?
Larry Cox had been a firefighter.
Wonderful guy. And very good with an extinguisher.
And it was a big extinguisher, if I remember.
So my first curtain call, I was encrusted with white foam.
And how did that make you feel?
It was somehow a precursor to everything that followed.
There were some of the funniest moments I've ever seen, the bottom killing himself.
Oh my God.
Peter Millard.
That was terrible. I corpsed all the time. That guy could make me laugh. And it was a brilliant company you brought together. Susan Wright was in it, which we were just talking about. Aaron, and Susan Coyne, Michael Riley, Ted Dykstra. It was an extraordinary company. And and Peter Millard as Bottom was just...
So for the record, we let Peter Millard as Bottom in his death scene within the play just go. And so here's the question for you, is that Peter would then extemporize on how he killed himself. And I gather the extemporization got longer and longer, shorter. It just was a Lazzi. So what did you as a young actor, what did the actors do? Did you go, okay, are we timing this tonight? Or when's he going to... How do you deal with an actor who suddenly let loose?
That was a brilliant kind of introduction to the theater because I think people sometimes think that, they can get it right, especially if they're young and they're students. They try to do something. And I think I was certainly in that mode, whereas I found over the time that when you work with the really great actors, they are totally alive in that moment. There's no acting. They take no prisoners. A plumber, it's don't get between plumber and his audience. And Peter was that too in that moment. I mean, he was slitting his nose open, doing things that were insane, but it was vibrant with life. There was nothing set about it. And so while I was corpsing and probably, was unprofessional, I did learn something about theater needing to be vibrant and alive.